Welcome to week 6. This week we're focusing very much on interviewing. There are readings due for both classes this week. The reading due for Tuesday is a reading that's focused primarily on disciplinarity, figuring out what's going on inside your discipline. This will hopefully give you some better ideas of the kinds of things you might be able to ask in your interviews. And then on Thursday, the reading is focused on primary research, that is conducting research yourself. And one of the areas in there is about interviewing. I do suggest you read the whole thing though anyway, because there's a lot of tips that apply to multiple areas. Also for Tuesday's class, I will be making sure that you find at least 3 potential interviewees that you can interview for writing project number 2, provide their names and why you want to interview them and their contact information. I suggest you go ahead and contact your top choice right now. And then if your top choice doesn't get back to you in a few days, you can contact your second choice and so on. So you can get that scheduled so that you actually are ready to write WP2. For Thursday's class, I do have a video about tips for interviewing. I'm a really experienced interviewer. I had a journalism minor when I was an undergraduate and wrote for my university newspaper and interviewed a lot then. But then actually my research now focuses primarily on interviews with students and teachers. And so I've been interviewing people now for about, almost 20 years. And so I have a lot of things that can make the interviews go a little bit more smoothly. And I'm going to give you some tips about that. I also expect you to conduct a practice interview. So most of your groups have 2 people or have 4 people in them. And so you can break off into groups of 2 and practice interviewing each other. Please really do this. Make sure that you use whatever format you intend to interview the other person in, and then try to answer the questions as best you can, with the idea that if you have a hard time answering the question, your interviewee might as well. So this is an opportunity to adjust those questions and get better questions and better follow-up questions for you to make sure that that interview runs smoothly. As usual, if you have any questions for me this week about any of the content this week, please ask in the questions forum.